In the medieval Islamic world, religious minority communities were an important feature of Islamic states and societies. Christianity and Judaism continue to exist. How did it work? This question poses two separate issues. First, what were the theological and legal principles that defined the doctrinal status of non-Muslims under Islam? And second, what were the everyday implications to the social status of non-Muslims under Islam? Our task for now is the first issue, that is the theological and legal status of Christians and Jews. The second issue will be discussed in the next unit. In terms of numbers, Christianity was the largest religious minority. The clear majority among the Christian minority was Orthodox churches, which had existed in the Middle East since antiquity and since the 7th century operated in a Muslim context. Some of the Orthodox churches went through a process of Arabization, not only for everyday use, but also for religious and liturgical ceremonial purposes. Jews were a smaller minority, but still a significant number of world Jews lived under Muslim rule. Furthermore, important centers of Jewish intellectual activity existed here, in the Middle East. Muslims distinguish between different groups of non-Muslims, with the basic division being between polytheists and non-Muslim monotheists. Islamic theology has no room for idol worshippers. They must convert. Christians and Jews, however, do have a place in the Muslim religious hierarchy. Islamic doctrine accepts that both Christians and Jews received true revelations. Moreover, Muslims acknowledge the prophecy of Moses and Jesus. These perceptions are the foundations of the term Ahl al-Kitab, or people of the book. This term regarding Jews and Christians originates in the Quran. Jews and Christians as the possessors of the earlier scriptures, and Muslims as members of the new faith, shared a similar religious tradition. But according to Islamic doctrine, both Jews and Christians falsified the divine truth. They received it, but then changed it. For example, Muslims point to the Christian belief that Jesus, a human being, is the Son of God, and see it as a distortion of monotheism that accepts only one God and shares his divinity with none. We find in the Islamic sources also a claim that the current scripture Jews and Christians have aren't the original covenant with God. According to Islamic belief, the current Bible and Gospel are texts that have been altered. This theological position correlates with the legal position regarding Christians and Jews. As the theological opinion allows their continued existence under Islam, Jews and Christians are incorporated into Muslim society as protected people. The term is Ahl al-Zimma. The term refers to the contract between the Muslim community and Jews and Christians. Muslims extend protection and hospitality to the non-Muslim minorities living under their rule, in exchange for the Jews and Christians acknowledging Islamic domination and paying a special tax, the jizya. The tax is levied in a Muslim state only on non-Muslims. It distinguishes them and symbolizes their status as subordinate to Muslims. These Jews and Christians have the right to keep their religion and their property. These rights are reserved for Jews and Christians who enjoy the zimma or protection. Polytheists don't have any. As we mentioned earlier, Muslim theology didn't recognize their existence. Likewise, Jews and Christians who live outside the Islamic territories or enter Islamic lands for a relatively short period can claim that security because they aren't perceived as being submissive to the dominance of Islam. Islamic sources through the ages position Umar bin al-Khattab, the second Rashidun Caliph, as preparing the foundational text of the Zimma status. It's known as the Pact of Uma or Ahad Umar. Omar, who credited with the seizing of Damascus and Jerusalem, received the submission of the local Christians and Jews. As the conqueror, he stipulated the rights and obligations of both sides. For instance, Jews and Christians were forbidden to build new churches and synagogues, raise their voices during their prayers, sell alcohol to Muslims, and more. Based on these ad hoc agreements, Muslims attribute to him the formulation of the Islamic policy toward Jewish and Christian subjects in a binding legal document. This Islamic view tells us about the Sunni image of Omar as a great founder of many institutions and administrative practices. Historians have shown that the evolution of the Zimma principles from local contracts to a general Muslim policy was a long process and was attributed to Omar retroactively. In conclusion, when we evaluate the functions of the Zimma rules, including the special jizya tax, we understand the following 2 points. First, these rules were the legal expression of the theological, doctrinal position regarding Jews and Christians. Second, the rules enabled the integration of Jews and Christians into Muslim society while maintaining clear separate lines. Now, it's time to move on to discuss the second issue regarding the existence of Jews and Christians in the Muslim Middle East, and that is what the realities of the doctrinal positions were. This second point will be discussed in our next unit.